Good evening, good evening. Welcome to Foreign Technical Solutions, where we don't complain, we find solutions. So, I want to apologize for not getting this done yesterday. I try to do these on Sunday evenings, but if you don't know, you know, I'm a weekend dad, so I usually have my children, and yesterday was just a really long day. So I didn't feel like coming back and making a video. But nonetheless, here we are. If you're new, please, if you like the content, subscribe. If you think it could be helpful to anyone, share. Just a little quick background about me. I'm not a professional by any means. This is not financial advice. This is a hobby for me. I have a full time job, and this is just something that I'm trying to learn, and hopefully one day I'm going to be able to at least supplement my income, if not completely replace my income. So with that being said, let's get started. um, this chart here is the Euro AUD 4-hour chart. um, One second. So yeah, Euro AUD 4-hour chart. Um, let's back out a little bit so you can kind of see what I'm seeing. So pretty been in an uptrend since here. I want to say around the end of July, and found some resistance up here and some support right here. So I actually took a buy on this trade today because it's at support, and this support was respected, previously. So I'm gonna place a buy here with my stop, you know, reasonably with enough room to let your trade breathe. So when you go down to a smaller time frame, you can kind of see where the bottom really is. My RSI is at 30%, so that's good. And yeah, that's it, man. Trading is simple. I can honestly say that trading is simple. Trading is simple, but it is difficult. It's not actually placing the trades or where to put your stops or anything like that. It's a psychological game, because you lose, you win, you have ups, you have downs, and I think that is what gets most people's frustrated with trading, is that it's a bunch of ups and downs. It's not easy, and some people may make it look easy, and it may be easy for them, but trust me, they struggle at some point. I think anyone who's successful at trading will tell you that they struggle at some point. So that's that. Let's take a look at the pairs we normally look at. So this is a pair that I like to watch, USD peso. If you've been following me for a while, you know that. It's been ranging for a while, pretty much all of this year, I would say. So yeah, this is February. So you can see it's been in a range from here kind of broke out, recently, and now I think looks like it's stalling. So we'll zoom out, and if you watch, pretty much ranging. What I like to do is I like to put a trend line here to kind of give me a visualization of what's happening. So we're clearly in an uptrend. We've found some resistance here at this level. So we'll see how price reacts to this level going forward. I would be looking for sales on this pair just because it's been pretty much going up now for 4 weeks. So I kind of expect it to reverse back to touch this trend line and then maybe continue pushing up higher, even back to last year's high around $22. What I found out about in my opinion, the dollar peso, it's really not a trade against. Like, you're not really trading the peso against the dollar. You're really trading dollar strength because, let's face it, Mexico depends on the US dollar, and so the basically the peso is pegged to the US dollar. So if you pay attention and you notice when the dollar rises, the dollar peso rises. So a strong dollar is essentially a weak peso. So it's just going to take more pesos because Mexico doesn't really have a strong economy. It's going to take more pesos to make up a dollar when the dollar is strong. When the dollar is weak, it's going to take less pesos. So that's just a little tip that I've came across. You're not really trading the peso against the dollar. You're actually trading the dollar and the peso together, if that makes sense. So that's that guy. Silver. Woo. Now, if you guys don't know anything about me, this is something what I'm going to tell you. I am a silver bug, which means I am bullish on silver. I like silver. I think silver is a undervalued precious metal, and I fully expect silver to really, really, really surprise some people here in the next year or so. Just keep that in mind. That being said, silver has been pushing up for like the last 1, 2, 3, almost 10 weeks. And now we get to this zone right here where I would expect to have some consolidation, just because historically silver consolidated in this area. Now, if silver breaks like 18, look out. I think the next stop is $20 for silver. I want to try to look for a pullback, so I would love for silver to kind of slow down here and pull back down to maybe 16 and then try to enter and take the ride up. But if not, I'm pretty sure it's going to hesitate here, and then I'm just going to wait for entry here. But looking at this RSI right here, I expect a pullback here a little bit at least. Same with here, it's been just hovering above 70 now for a little while. So I expect a pullback to at least 50-50. But what I've also learned, I'm just dropping jewels here, RSI is not dependable long term. RSI doesn't know about fundamentals. RSI doesn't know that we are facing a recession. RSI doesn't know that 45 tweets about the markets, you see? And gold reacts to global fears. So I'm looking for buy entries. However, I fully expect this to pull back some, back into here. So if you know how to trade on a counter trend, maybe you want to get in. But personally, I'm only taking buys on silver because I'm bullish on silver. Gold, I don't trade gold. Now, if you guys want me to analyze gold next week, leave a comment and I will take a look, but I prefer to trade silver than gold. Swiss franc, US dollar, another pair that I like trading. Last Friday, I actually caught most of this move Friday during the meetings just because I was waiting for it to kind of hit price right here. So what I've been doing and what I've decided to only do is only use one moving average. I'm going to show you guys which one it is. And I want to give a shout out to Oliver Perez is his name. Oliver Perez is the person who really like preaches the 200 EMA. And he talks about it a lot and how price seems to always return to the 200 EMA. So with that being said, check out some of his videos, really informative stuff. He trades like stocks, and he only trades like the opening bell, like maybe the first 15 minutes of opening, and then he's out. So Oliver Perez, he's on YouTube here. So here we go. So yeah, last Friday I sold here because we were at resistance. I fully expect price to come up again and maybe retest this same level and then fall again. If you don't know much about currencies, Currency Trading for Dummies is a good book, but the Swiss franc is a safe haven currency, which means that whenever there's fears of a recession or whenever money, quote unquote, or monetary policy starts to become really, really loose, a lot of people turn to the Swiss franc because the Swiss franc supposedly is backed by gold. I don't know if that's necessarily true, but that's the reason why the franc is a safe haven currency, is supposedly they have a sound money system. I'm only looking for sales. Again, I expect some corrective structure and then another heavy fall, kind of like what we saw here, or even what we saw here. That was over 100 pips that I caught last week. So yeah, as far as Forex, guys, I don't trade a lot of pairs. You know, I have a full-time job. I think there's a such thing as quality over quantity, and I don't trade every pair. And actually, Euro NZD. Let's take a look at this guy. Euro NZD has kind of been stuck. Looks like it's kind of stuck in this range for this month. So I really wouldn't trade it until I got a break either higher or lower. I would stay away. That's just me. And that's the trick to trading. The key to trading is protecting your capital and living to trade another day. A lot of people blow accounts. A lot of people get greedy and try to make, you see these people on YouTube making thousands of dollars in minutes, and you think, oh yeah, it's just easy. I can come make $1,000 in 30 minutes too. Just trade like they do. But that style might not work for you. You don't know how long it took them to perfect that strategy. So I read all kinds of information and I just try to find strategies that work for me. And I like to be patient and wait for good entries and for price to kind of do what I expect it to do or what I want it to do. So right now, as long as this is ranging, I wouldn't trade it. I would just move on. There's plenty of other pairs to look at. All right. I think let's take a look at GBP/USD real quick. This is a pair that I don't trade, but I've kind of been keeping an eye out on. So right now, you see it's at the 200 EMA. If we get above this, I'm going to start looking for buys on the pound. I think that the whole Brexit thing is what's pushing the pound price down. And once that problem is resolved, if it gets resolved, the pound's going to regain its strength. And you just got to be prepared, man. Trading is about being prepared, being patient, and executing your plan. every week I come up with a trading plan where I go through like this and I analyze my pairs and I decide what I'm looking for the whole week. So I get up in the mornings before the London candle opens. I get up around 4:30 a.m. and if my trades are setting up the way I want them to, I enter. And if they're not, I work out, go to work, come back and look the next day. It's as simple as that. So I hope this helped you guys. I hope you guys found some value in this video. I changed brokers, obviously, to Trader's Way, so I don't have crypto on this page. Let me see. Maybe it'll let me take a look real quick. Oh no. Because yeah, it won't. Okay, sorry about that, guys. Next week we'll definitely do crypto. Have a good week. Oh, maybe it came. What's that? Hold on. It did come back. So we will take a look. You guys are lucky. Only 2 pairs. We're only going to look at Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Ripple. 3 pairs. Once they're on here. Here we go. The big dog, BTC. I'm a BTC advocate. I love Bitcoin. I think Bitcoin is the solution to fiat. I actually have I hold Bitcoin. So just for transparency, I am bullish on Bitcoin. Now, right here, what you can kind of see when you zoom out is that we are forming a wedge. This is what this is. I'll show you why in a second. Okay, so that's what we have there, right? So price has been kind of trading in this wedge. Now what the experts say is that it's running out of room. So I'm just waiting to see what happens when price reaches this point, because it's either going to break south or it's going to break north. Those are your only 2 options. So you wait. That's Bitcoin. Next is Ethereum. I am a big fan of Ether, and I don't know why price is being suppressed. If you go back and you see, Ether's all-time high was 1414. So just to give you some context, Bitcoin's all-time high was 20. Do you see that Bitcoin is already 50% it's already recovered 50% of its value, right? Whereas Ethereum, which I thought was a good project and a platform, and it had all the right fundamentals behind it, has nowhere near begun to recover. I mean, look at that. It's like it doesn't want to catch up. I think some of it has to do with Vitalik or whoever the creator is. I think that he's really been kind of souring people on it lately. So I don't think that's why people is really not interested in it. But ultimately, in the long run, I like Ether. But I'm not buying it. I don't own any. I just like it. I think it has value. All right. Litecoin, another one which hasn't lived up to the hype. Litecoin traded at $300 and something at one time. Today, 73. So nowhere near half. I mean, nowhere near it. It's like we got up here that time, and once we got up here, we've just kind of been depressed. Price has just been depressed. That's another coin Again, I'm not buying. I'm just analyzing what I see on the chart in front of me. But I don't know why. I don't understand it. But again, when you attach names to these projects, people hold you accountable. And that's the cool thing about Bitcoin, is that Bitcoin is anonymous. Still to this day, no one knows who created Bitcoin. Whereas a lot of these new influencers and new people in the crypto space, they want to tell you about their token, But if they say they can't find developers or anything, it moves the price. Last but not least, the worst piece of crap anyone can own. If you own Ripple, good luck to you. I think they're selling you guys a bill of goods. Ripple ain't shit. Excuse my language. There's no real good use for it. If WhatsApp comes out with currency or Libra coin, anything that will be mass adopted first will crush Ripple. Like I said, Ripple has been around for a long time. Really long time. So and for the first 2 or 3 years, nothing. Look at that. Nothing. I mean, blips. And then all of a sudden it got pumped. And now it got dumped. I fully don't expect it to hold. Matter of fact, if you see, this is my 200 period EMA. When it's underneath, I'm only looking for sales. I kind of expect Ripple to sell down to 13, 15, 18, who knows, 11, maybe even the 3 or 4 cents it started off, because to me it has no value whatsoever. But that's my opinion. Do what you want to do with your money. If you want to go and buy, because it's cheap, if you want to go and buy $1,000 worth of Ripple because you think that one day it's going to hit $1, hey, be my guest. Just don't come over here saying, man, you should have told me not to put my money, because I did. All right, so we're going to wrap this up. I hope I was helpful to any of you. If you have any questions, send me an email. If you have any suggestions, send me an email, leave a comment. Peace.